This coming year is going to be the best you've ever had. Let me guess, you've heard that a million times, right? Well, it's all BS. You've been down this road before. You've torn through personal development books, podcasts, and maybe even gone to seminars. Each time, thinking the next thing holds the key to lasting change. At first, you're excited, but then a few weeks go by. You realized you've learned all this stuff, but are only using 5% of it, if that. None of the habits or mindset changes stuck. You've slid back into your old patterns. But that's not the worst part. You start beating yourself up, blaming yourself for not being more focused or motivated enough to change. You feel frustrated, saying things like, why can't I be happy? Why can't I follow through like other people? What's wrong with me? It's a vicious cycle of failure and self-abuse you can't seem to climb out of, unless you do something very different this year. Want to know what it is? Keep watching. Because I want you to know the difference. I want you to transform into that focused, alive, confident person you know you can be. Imagine flying through 2018, crushing one goal after another. You're fit, laser focused, and killing it at work, setting yourself up for a nice pay raise. Best of all, you breeze through each day feeling happier and more confident than ever. Friends say things like, I haven't seen you this happy in years. You seem so alive. When you look in the mirror, you're excited by what you see. The sadness and frustration that used to weigh you down has vanished. You no longer complain or beat yourself up for not being as happy or successful as you think you should be. Now when you look in the mirror, you feel strong, vibrant, and proud of who you are. Because you're no longer drifting through life aimlessly. You've taken hold of the steering wheel, slammed the pedal to the metal, and your life is now going where you choose. You've become an entirely new person. I'm going to show you how to make this transformation a reality. Today, you're going to learn the one thing you must have to create a radical, positive change in your life. In fact, you've probably used it without realizing it. But most personal development books and workshops ignore this completely. It's why you've been unable to make the habits and mindsets you learn stick. Hi, I'm Brian Rose, the founder and host of London Real. Not too long ago, I was jobless, friendless, and basically lost in life. But today, I'm lucky enough to host a show watched by over 50 million people, with fans all around the world. And I get to have conversations with some of the most inspiring people on the planet. Over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to share the success secrets of our most influential guests with you. Men like Tim Ferriss, author of The 4-Hour Workweek, Dan Pena, the $50 billion man, and Gary Vaynerchuk, founder of VaynerMedia, and much more. You're going to learn the practices they do to stay at the top of their game. Simple things that you can do to stay more focused, confident, and achieve your goals. That's just the start. We're not just going to talk about what to do. You're going to discover exactly how to implement these successful practices in your everyday life. So you don't just know the habits and routines, you live and breathe them. And we're going to do it together. You won't be alone. I'll be with you every step of the way to help you finally unleash your full potential. Sound good? There's a special reason why we're doing this now. Over the years, I've learned hundreds of different success secrets from my many guests, and I tested nearly all of them. I put the 18 most powerful ones in a course called the Life Accelerator, and this is important. We then added the one thing missing from all those books and workshops. Because of this, people in our course got astounding results. Take George Gallagher, a Life Accelerator graduate who lost 6 kilos of fat, doubled his savings goals, and wakes up an hour earlier than he used to, excited to take on the day. Or Dorothy Biney, who has more focus, clarity, and even sleeps better. She no longer worries about her future and says she finally got her mojo back. Or Shane Mills, who eliminated procrastination, is now highly productive, made rock star friends, and feels his life is finally on track. Most importantly, he's happy. 3 of the people who graduated were so pumped about the change they experienced, they got the course initials tattooed on them. The good news for you is that you're invited to experience exactly what they did. Very soon, I'm reopening our popular Life Accelerator course for a limited time. But before I do, I want to give you a chance to test drive it for yourself for free. I'm convinced that once you get a taste of what the program is like, you'll be hungry for more. Then join us for the full 6-week journey. So over the next 2 weeks, I'm releasing some of the most transformational practices from the course, and we're going to use them together. Keep watching and I'll explain everything. For right now, I want to show you the missing ingredient for lasting change. Not having this is the reason all of those books and workshops failed you. But once you understand what it is, you'll know exactly how to move into the driver's seat of your life where you belong. It's something I stumbled across by accident after I nearly died. I'm not kidding. Back in 2001, when I was a banker on Wall Street, I spent way too much time partying. Dropping $2,000 on bottle service at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday was pretty much par for the course. It got to the point where one night, I literally stopped breathing. Paramedics had to rush to the scene to keep me alive. Without them, I wouldn't be here right now. But even that wasn't enough to wake me up. Over the next few weeks, my life went further into a tailspin. My best friend fired me from my job. My girlfriend dumped me. And I was broke. Despite my hefty Wall Street salary, I blew every penny partying. So here I was, 30 years old with nothing to show for it. I felt lost, and I had to rebuild myself. But I knew I couldn't do it in New York City. If I stayed there, I'd continue my same old destructive habits. So I moved to London and began the slow process of putting my life back together. Over the next few years, I got a new job, started meditating, and even took up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I began interviewing people in my flat for a show that later became London Real. Each of these new practices did something for me. Meditation helped me find out what I wanted in life. Exhausting my body with jiu-jitsu helped my mind stay focused and calm. London Real let me finally connect with people. I became more open, less selfish, and no longer felt alone. The only reason I stuck with these activities long enough to see a transformation was because I put myself in a position to succeed. Starting a show forced me to connect with people. Joining a martial arts class forced me to get in shape and push my body to the limits. Ditching my party friends and surrounding myself with people who supported me forced me to stay on track. Looking back now, it's clear that the critical ingredient for drastic life change is this. Transforming your life starts by transforming your environment. This is why self-help books and workshops never work. You get these new practices, but then you bring them to your old environment with nobody there to push you or keep you in check. So you inevitably fall back into your old patterns. Now, the environment changes I made were massive, but you can get similar results much faster. And you won't have to move across the world like I did. Simple changes like creating an accountability system can make a dramatic difference. That's exactly what we do for our Life Accelerator students. We have an intense triple-tiered accountability program to keep them focused and motivated. This keeps them moving forward no matter what, so they take the action they need for extraordinary results. We'll talk more about that next week, so you can implement it in your own life. For now, let's take a step back. Let's look at where you are right now. and where you want to go. This will give you much needed clarity and help you discover what you need in your environment to make the life change you want. Here's a quick exercise that may be eye-opening. It can shine a light on areas holding you back that you may be overlooking. After talking with hundreds of inspiring people, I've learned that there are 5 key areas for a fulfilling life. And they all work together to fuel your happiness, success, and sense of self-worth. I put them all together on what I call the life wheel. You may have seen something like this before. I've modified it, adding the areas I know to be the most important. There's your health, relationships, career, mindset, and your impact. You can download this as a PDF below, so you can dive deeper into it later if you want. But let's walk through it right now together. For each section, rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 5. A 5 means you're thrilled, and that area is going great for you. And a 1 means you're unhappy and need major change. Ready? Let's start with relationships. Are you surrounded by awesome friends who support you? Are you close with your family? Is your love life going great? If you answer yes to all of that, you're closer to a 5. But maybe your relationships aren't so wonderful. Maybe you're surrounded by negative people. Maybe you have the same dull, superficial conversations every day. And you have friends, but don't feel they really know you. So you often feel alone. If that sounds like you, you're closer to a 1. Next up, career. Are you doing what you love? Are you thrilled with your salary? Do you love your clients, boss, and coworkers? Do you believe in the work you're doing? If so, you're higher on the scale. Or are you underappreciated, underpaid, and just going through the day to collect a paycheck? Do you feel you're wasting away at your job? Are you constantly worried about money? If that's you, you're closer to a 1. Then there's your health. Do you have a regular exercise practice that keeps you fit and happy? Are you proud of the way you look? Are you eating foods that leave you feeling great and keep you focused and energized all day? If you're happy with your diet and body, then you're higher on the scale. Or maybe you spend most of the day sitting around. Maybe you rely on fast food more than you think or more than you should. And you avoid looking in the mirror because you don't like that extra fat hanging off your stomach. If that's the case, rate yourself lower. Next up, mindset. Are you calm, focused, and present throughout the day? Do you have unshakable confidence? Do you have a positive attitude that infects others and draws people into you? If so, rate yourself high on that one. Or are you sleepwalking through the day, complaining about your problems, beating yourself up for not having a perfect life like everybody on your Facebook news feed? If that's the case, you're closer to a 1. Finally, there's impact. Think of this as your contribution to the world. It's about you being part of something bigger than yourself. You can also think of this in terms of spirituality if you want. Are you clear on your purpose in life? Are you making an impact you're proud of? Are you following your inner voice? If so, awesome. Score yourself on the high end of the scale. Or do you lay awake at night wondering, what's it all for? Feeling lost and alone, frustrated because you've done all the things society told you to do, and yet you're still not happy. If that's you, then right now you're on the lower end. Now that you know where your challenges are, let's do something about them. Don't just make the mistake most people do. Don't focus on one area at a time, thinking you only need to get that fixed and then everything will be perfect. You see, that's what I did after growing up without much money. I went all in on the career section, chasing as much money as I could get my hands on. You already saw how that turned out. My health, relationships, mindset, and impact all took a massive beating. So it's important to create an environment that lets you thrive in every area at once. This way, you don't chase a goal only to hit it and feel as empty as you did when you started. When it comes to creating that environment for real change, there are two critical components to consider. The first is knowing what to do. This isn't just about finding proven practices. It's about finding the ones that work best for you. And they shouldn't make you sacrifice the other important areas of your life. Second is knowing how to implement them in a way that sticks. So you're not just doing them for 3 weeks before they fizzle out. You're making them a part of who you are. Imagine if improving all 5 of those areas came as naturally as brushing your teeth every day. That's what we're looking to do, starting in the next video. In it, we'll dive deeper into the practices you can do. You'll learn 6 key habits that will help you master all those areas. These come from Dan Pena, Ido Portal, Tim Ferriss, and others at the very top of their game. This is all simple stuff you can do regularly for massive results. They'll work wonders, helping you to be more focused, confident, and hit your goals, while eliminating the anxiety, self-doubt, and procrastination that may be keeping you stuck. You'll even learn tricks for creating deep connections and getting in the best shape of your life. Then, next week, you'll get a video showing you how to make these and other practices actually stick. You'll see how to create a winning environment that forces you to stay with good habits and routines permanently. This includes introducing multiple layers of accountability, so you can see lasting change in your confidence, productivity, health, happiness, and more. Now, we have something exciting going on soon you should know about. Next week, we're going to implement the techniques I share in the next video. I'll even do them with you. I'm doing this so you can test drive the Life Accelerator course before it opens. We're even going to have a contest with special bonus prizes. Also, if you know anyone else who could benefit by mastering the habits and mindsets of the world's top performers, then share this video with them today. Before you go, click the link below to join our free private Facebook group and leave me a comment on the one area you're most excited to change and what you want that change to look like. This will help you get clear on your goals, which is the first step towards achieving them. I'll be reading each one and giving you my feedback. Before we go, I want you to remember one thing. If you plant a seed in the desert, it doesn't matter how much you water it, it's just not going to grow. But put that same seed in the right soil, water it, give it sunlight, nurture it, and it will flourish on its own. The same is true for you. If you're not where you want to be, it's not because you're broken. Most likely, you've been in the wrong environment. But once you change your surroundings, the real you can come bursting out. The passionate, driven you who radiates confidence. That real you is the one this world needs. I look forward to meeting that person soon. See you in the next video.